Hey guys, back. We're working on Microsoft Excel Associate. We're going to start here with Lesson 1, Exercise 1, Learn to Enter Data. So I'm clicking through, going to go ahead and click Start. Enter text. Remember, here's the little immersive reader icon, so if you want to have Jasperactive read it to you, you can certainly do that. Type, okay. In the new blank workbook cell, A2. So here's A, row 2, I'm going to type price quote and press enter. Moves down to cell A3 and we press enter. Press enter to move down a couple more rows. So in A5, I'm going to type airfare. Press enter. A6 is hotel. A7 is car rental. I can spell rental. A6 is taxes. Going to scroll down. It says, note, if you enter the wrong value into a cell, simply click the cell and type the entire correct entry again to replace the incorrect value. So we'll say I had spelled car rental wrong. I could type it and just type right over the top of it. Use autocorrect to enter autocomplete to enter text. Now try a feature called autocomplete, in which Excel determines whether you're repeating the same text as in a previous cell and completes it for you. If it is the text you want, you simply press enter to accept it. So in cell A9, we're going to type capital A. Notice that Excel automatically offers you a text label based on your previous entry. You can now press the enter key to accept it or continue typing the value that you want. So we want to ignore the suggested label and continue typing the rest of the text, airport fees, and then press enter. Text extends further than the default column, which means if you enter the data in the next column, there's some overflow. We're going to go down to A12 and type airline, press enter. This time the autocomplete feature did not turn on because cells A10 and A11 are blank. So enter the following in the remaining cells. A13, we're going to type hotel. B12, we're going to do Great West Airline. B13, we're going to Hotel Zathura. I don't know how you say that. And going back up to A1, we're going to do Tolano Adventures. And press enter. And there we are done with question 2 of 7. Question 3, now we're entering numeric text. So we're going up to B5, and we're going to enter 450 and press enter. Notice how this is aligned to the right side of the cell where the text was aligned to the left side of the cell. In B6, I'm going to do 1050 and press enter. Oh, maybe I need to put a comma in there. 1050 and press enter. Recognize a comma as a separator for values greater than 1,000. B7 is 225. B6 is 46.5. Notice how Excel recognizes that you've entered a period, which it interprets as a decimal point. By default, Excel shows 2 decimal places, whereas in this case, only 1 if the second decimal character is a 0. So in B9, I'm going to type 9.9, press enter, and then click cell A9. Notice that A9, that the part of the text entry that had overflowed into B9 is now hidden because the value is entered in B9. However, the formula bar up here still shows that the data is actually unchanged. All right, question 4. Most people tend to enter just text or numeric values initially. Take a look as you enter different versions of numbers to see how Excel reacts to the data. So in D8, we're going to type 3.1% and press enter. Excel interprets the entered value as numeric and aligns them to the right of the cells. However, if you enter a non-recognizable character or insert any commas or decimal points in the wrong position, Excel will treat the entire contents of the cell as a label and align it to the left. So in D9, I'm going to put 2.2% and press enter. So that one's aligned to the left because it thinks it's text. Now we're going to move back up there and do 2.2% and press enter, and it's back to correctly aligned on the right-hand side. Question 3, enter dates to see how Excel accepts data of this type. So in cell A3, we're going to type as of : and press tab, the 1st of May, and press enter. And then D3, so here puts the date in the default date format and aligns it to the right. D3, we're going to put expires : tab July 15th, 2022. Oops, 2022. And press enter. Then E3. Oh, now select E3. The date value for this cell also appears in the formula bar. So here it appears up here in the formula bar, corresponding to the settings for your region, such as North America. This is how we write dates in North America. In Europe, it's different. B3, select B3. Because you have not included a year in this date value, Excel assumes it is a current year and adds it for you. If you want a different year, you have to enter it as part of the date, which makes sense. We're going to default to the current year unless otherwise notified. Submit. We did that one. Adjust column widths. On occasion, you will need to adjust the width of a column so you can see the content in a cell. For instance, in this last task, notice the text entered in A9 has been removed when you entered a value in B9. So select any cell in column A. On the Home tab, click Format. Right over here is Format, Column Width. In the column width box, we're going to type 14 and click OK. We want to repeat those steps for column C, format, column width, except this one we only want to be 6. Okay. Now try using the autofill option for column B. You will choose B13 because it is wider than the current column width, but will not make the entire column too wide for many of the cells. So B13, here we go. Then we want to go up to Format and click Auto Fit Column Width, which is a super handy button to know. Column A is now too wide to be visually appealing. It has made the column as wide as the length of the longest entry. But not all cells need that width. Use a mouse to adjust the width. Move the mouse pointer to the right edge of the column A header. So notice here how it changes to the double-headed pointer. And we just double-click right there, and it automatically adjusts that. Move the mouse pointer to the right edge of the column A header. The mouse pointer will change to a double-headed arrow. There we go. Notice that a screen tip appears as you drag the column width, giving you the current column width as a visual reference. So it gives it here in pixels too. Click and drag to the left to reduce the column width. Release the mouse button when the column width is just right for displaying the full context of A9, airport fees. Drag it over here. Just right for that. Submit. Number 7. Adjust the row height. Just as you can adjust the width of a column, you can also adjust the height of a row, usually to add space between one row and the next row. So right-click the row 1 header. So I'm right here on row 1, and I'm going to right-click the header and click row height. Then we want that to be 30, and click OK. Column 4, right-click that header and click row height. Click row height, and click 9, and enter. Note you can also use the Auto Fit Row Height option, or use a mouse to drag the top of the row you want to adjust. So there you go. That is Lesson 1, Exercise 1, Learn to Enter Data. Oh, it looks like I got one wrong, but that's okay. Hopefully you don't get that one wrong.